welcome to a rather early Friday Waffle. Now the reason it's early is because I'm actually on holiday today. I'm on holiday because I've got my West Highland Way race tonight at 1 o'clock. Well, it's not tonight, it's actually tomorrow morning. 1 o'clock in the morning it starts. So that'll be me hopefully running for about 30 hours non-stop. So just think about me when you're eating your breakfast tomorrow morning, or if it's Saturday morning, that I'll be out there, and then when you go to your bed on Saturday night, I'll still be out there running. Hopefully all going well. I mean, my running's not been great, but you know what, I'm going to give it my best. So, I hope you've all had an alright week. My week's not been the greatest. There's a few things going on at the moment. Not been great. I've not had a chance to really put any input into my YouTube channel. I mean, I've had a couple of videos obviously which I've pre-recorded, which I've put out. But I've had a lot on my plate recently, especially this last week, and obviously with the race being this weekend, I've had to, lots of, you've got food to prepare, your kit to prepare. There's a lot of things you need to think about, so I've just had other stuff going on at the moment. But anyway, it's Friday, so yeah, I haven't got any, I've not got any more topics, this week. Like I said, I've just not had a chance. I really have not had a chance to sort of think about anything gaming related. I mean, gaming wise, the only video game I've played this week is Next Machina, which is, I was going to say it's a follow-up to Robotron. It's not at all. It's a twin-stick shooter, but the Eugene Jarvis, who is obviously the programmer of he wrote Defender, he wrote Robotron, he also wrote Smash TV. I think he also wrote Cruising USA, which is quite a bizarre sort of move away from shooters. But Eugene Jarvis, I think, was a sort of an advisor in the game, and you can certainly see influences to Robotron and Smash TV. Now what's interesting, I did put a video of it a couple of days ago. What is interesting, not in a good way I suppose, the video that I put out, just showing me playing Next Machina, is it's been up for 2 days and it has managed to get 24 views, which is it is the lowest viewed video I've ever made. Interesting that actually. I don't know why. I mean, I don't generally feature new systems. I don't. I mean, even the Xbox 360, I very rarely show, if at all. I may on the odd occasion show like a PlayStation Saturn game, but I'm very much 8-bit, 16-bit, probably more 8-bit, I think, if I was to be honest. So I'm imagining that most people that watch my videos, that's their interest as well, the real old systems. So I suppose when they see a video of something that's on the PS4, they may just think I'm not interested in watching it. But it's interesting because obviously when you're making videos about old systems, you're never ever going to get big numbers. You're just not going to get it. It's too niche a hobby to ever get millions of subscribers. I mean, some of the most popular sort of retro gaming channels, your stuff like Metal Jesus? I can't remember what he's called. Anyway, I've completely forgotten what his name is. But some of the big hitters, they've maybe, and I say only, they've maybe only got 500,000 subscribers, whereas there's some of these YouTubers have tens of millions. So retro gaming is very much a niche hobby and you're never going to get big numbers. But when you put out a video of a really modern game, I mean it only came out on Tuesday, I think it was Tuesday, Wednesday. It's interesting that it gets so few views. So anyway, it doesn't matter, I'm not complaining, it's just an observation. When I was looking through for questions for the waffle, I noticed I had 16 views yesterday and it's up to 24, but interesting that so few people have actually watched it. So anyway, as you know, I don't make videos for numbers. I make videos just to let people see. I make videos that I want to see anyway, and it's an absolutely awesome game. If you've got a PS4 or a Windows PC that's semi-capable, the game is available on Steam. It's an absolutely awesome game. I mean, the game that I recorded was my first shot. Well, I had a very quick shot beforehand, but I've since played it quite a bit more, and it's an awesome game. I can't recommend it highly enough. So go and check it out. Go and get these views up. Next Machine, I think it's the email. It's the video just below this waffle. So anyway, without much further ado, let me just get a wee drink of my tea. I'm just going to batter straight in to my questions. I've got a few here. I've got about 5 or 6 guys asking them. Firstly, Kev, down the rabbit hole. Thank you, Kev, for the Friday Waffle. Hi, Alan. Have you seen Sega have released their retro titles on iOS? It's some new free-to-play thing they have going on right now. It's just Mega Drive games which have already come out before, but now with controller support, and eventually they might release Saturn and Dreamcast games. Oh, interesting. What are your thoughts on Sega re-releasing their Mega Drive games? Would you go with this version considering you already have them on emulators? Probably not, Kevin. I mean, I don't really play many games at all on my phone. I'm not a fan of touch controls. But the only games that I play on it are, I play Grid Runner, I play Football Manager, I play some wee puzzly games. I'm trying to think. I was playing that pool game for a while, but it just became too addictive, so I took it off. So I generally don't play arcade games on a phone, because I used to, ask me, 5 years ago, the first thing I would do when I get a phone is put all the emulators under the sun in it, but I just simply don't. I don't use it for arcade games. I don't think it's got an interface is not the right controls in my opinion. Now you're saying it's got controller support. Well, if you've got to dig out a controller to use it, I may as well, firing up my Xbox or firing up my Nvidia Shield Portable, something like that. What are my thoughts on it? Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be a new audience for these games. I mean, there's some classic titles, obviously Sonic the Hedgehog, stuff like that. But they've been putting out these compilations for such a long time now. You've got to wonder how many people haven't got them by now. But I suppose with every new generation comes another new customer base. So I suppose that's the reason they're doing it. But I'm not interested. It's not something that it'll bother me. Saturn and Dreamcast games, possibly, because I don't emulate. I've never tried to emulate these games on a phone, but it would be interesting to see what they're like. But again, if it's going to require a physical controller, that's just really not something that I'm really into at all. Second, in your recent Play Expo Glasgow video, you mentioned you'd never been into pinball. I used to be the same way, but developed a fondness for them eventually. What is it about pinball that leaves you cold? Do you think you could ever change your mind? I think the reason, I don't have anything against pinball, Kev. I think the reason is because A, I've never really got to play it, and B, anytime I do have a shot, I literally last seconds. I mean, I would say it's down to complete luck. You're hammering away the buttons to ping the ball up, and the ball just keeps going right through the middle. So I put it down. I think it's complete luck, but I know that's not the case, because there's people who are into pinball who can rack up. They could probably play a game for hours and hours and hours. So there is a tremendous amount of skill. But the reason I don't like it is because I don't have any access to a real pinball table, and then the very odd occasion I do get a shot, I die. You don't get lives as such, but I lose all the balls very quickly. So I'm like, whatever, I can't be arsed. Yeah, so as pinball, Steve. Yeah, I think the reason I don't like pinball is just because I've never really had the opportunity to play it. I'm quite sure if I had a pinball table in the house, I would probably love it. I mean, I know quite a few friends have got pinball tables, and they say it's just the best thing ever. But like I says, anytime I have a shot, I don't last any more than about a minute if I'm lucky. Saying that, I do have, what's it called? I do have a pinball thing on the PC with lots and lots of tables, and I do play that from time to time, and it is good fun. But yeah, it's like I says, I don't dislike it. It's just that I'm absolutely crap at it. And I very rarely get the chance to play it. So, if I had a table, I dare say I'd probably change my mind, Steve. So, smashing. Let's have a wee look. I'm visiting, excuse me, I'm visiting my sister in another part of Canada, and her husband has a 3D printer. Any recommended items you think we should make? What would you make if you had a 3D printer? It's not something I've ever thought about. The only experience I've got of 3D printing was I got a guy that stays local to me to print off a little case thing for the SD card thing for the what do you call it, or the interface for my Dreamcast. What would I print if I had a 3D printer? I would, you know what, I'd probably try and print. I've seen there's people make little miniature replicas of like the Amiga and Atari ST. My mate bought one and it's actually really nice looking. It'd probably be little things like that, little models that you could kind of put on display rather than something that's practical. I can't think off the top of my head anything that's practical, but what you should do is have a look. Go into Google. I mean, apparently there's like plans. You need to basically get the file and then you obviously load it in the computer and you print it. I think that's how it works. Google, go into Google and have a look. But it says there's people making little miniature Amigas. Little, you know, they're probably, they're probably about that size, really small, but really nice looking. I mean, they're obviously, I think you only print in one colour and then you paint them. I'm not too sure how that works. But yeah, I would probably make myself little miniature. I mean, that would be pretty awesome actually, having little miniature versions of all the systems, a little miniature Mega Drive, SNES, Commodore PET, you know, all these machines, ZX81. So yeah, I think that's what I would probably go for, Steve. Sorry, Kev, Steve, where did that come from? That's what I'd probably do, Kev. But have a look in Google. I dare say there'll be plans available you can download. And finally, would you say hello to my nephew Jack? I'm sure he'd get a kick out of a greeting from across the Atlantic. How you doing, Jack? High five, big man. Yeah, hopefully that's made your day, although I'm sure you'd much rather have somebody famous, unlike a fat Scottish guy talking nonsense. But anyway, hope you're doing well, Jack. So anyway, Kev, thank you very much for the questions as normal, mate. I always do appreciate them. Second on the bill, we've got Tony, Retronic Collector. Thanks, Tony. Hi, Alan. Some new questions for this week's Friday Waffle. Number one, will you be buying any future PS4 games? And if so, what are they? PS4. What have I got? Is there anything coming out? As you know me, Tony, I generally don't. I don't normally buy games when they very first come out. Though saying that, I did buy Resident Evil 7, which I've not played for ages, which is not a surprise. And that's probably the reason I try and avoid buying new games, because I end up not playing them. PS4 wise, I did try to buy, there was Argos were doing a deal. What is it called? I can't even remember the name of it. That's how much I'm into new games, I can't even remember the names of them. Something Horizon, it's kind of you play the part of this girl and it's a sort of adventure type game. Argos were doing that for 20 quid, or was it £24, £24.99 I think it was. I had a look at Argos, but they didn't have it in any of my local stores, and I noticed it's now back up to £49.99. Games wise, the PS4, I don't know. I mean, I mentioned this before, I generally don't look to see what's coming out for these new systems. I'm not even aware of what's coming out. Usually I become aware of a game because my pals are playing it, they're talking about it, it's on YouTube, people are raving about how wonderful this game is. I mean, if a game came out and people were saying this is the best game ever, you've absolutely got to buy it, then I'd probably go out and buy it. And I do know this Horizon game, whatever it's called, not Project Horizon, I can't remember the name of it, it's an adventure game, you probably know what I'm talking about, but I can't think. People are touting this as probably one of the best games from this sort of generation. But I've got so many games I've never played, I've never completed. You know, for me to buy a brand new game would be silly. But yeah, I've got the PS4, and I'll be off my head to not buy new games. So saying that, I did buy Nex Machina, which is £14.99 I think it is. It's the shoot 'em up, the twin stick shoot 'em up, which I was talking about earlier on. It was released on the Play Store on Tuesday, I think it was. So I bought that and I've been playing that a lot. I mean, I will buy games, you know, shooters and that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's that one. Number 2, top 5 games across 5 console system formats. Top 5 games, do you mean my top 5 games on 5 different systems? Or do you mean my top 5 games across... What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you, I'll be struggling to say my top 5 games, I mean, you know, but what I'll do is I'll tell you my 5 favoritist console games, I think. Bloody hell! Now I've gone completely. I've completely dried up. Let me think. SNES. I love Pilot Wings. I play that. I've not played it for a while, but I do love Pilot Wings. Actually, is an excellent shoot 'em up. In fact, I'll try and think of my 5 favourite games on 5 different consoles. So yeah, actually, Pilot Wings. Mario Kart, Super Mario Kart on the SNES is an excellent game. What's the other one? I'm trying to think. You've put me in the spot here. Probably Super Mario Land. I mean, that's a classic. That's a great game. And Contra, or is it Super Contra? That's another great running gun game. Mega Drive. I'm not a fan of Sonic the Hedgehog. Probably kind of Streets of Rage. Anything else? Man, you know what? I'm kind of struggling here. Alright, I'm just going to go for other consoles. The Dreamcast. I love shoot 'em up games. Any shoot 'em ups I love to bits, like Gunbird, Gunbird 2, PlayStation. Oh man, there's just, you know, there's just so many games, Tony. I'm really struggling to kind of think of my top 5 favourite. Yeah, sorry Tony, I'm going to move on, mate, because I don't want this video to run on and on and on while I struggle to think, but there's so many awesome games in the consoles, mate. Number 3, do you have a Sega Mega CD? And if so, what's your views on it? You know what, Tony, I do have a Mega CD, which I've never ever used. I used it for about 5 minutes when I got it. I got it in a car boot sale actually for not very much money. I played it for about 5 minutes and then I put it in the loft. The reason it's in the loft is because to be able to play it, you need to have it on. You need to have your Mega Drive plugged into it. And it was just simply taking up far too much space. I've got my space in my games room is really limited, so, and I've got access to all these games. I can play the Mega CD on my PC, I can play it on my Xbox, so I've got various emulators I can use it. So I put it in the loft, and I've actually sold most of my games for it. I sold most of them fairly recently. And it's a nice console, but like a lot of the consoles, like the 32X, it never got that much support. Unfortunately, but for me it just simply takes up too much space, so that's why I don't use it. It's a nice console, it's a nice console to have in your collection, but I'm trying to sell mine actually because I simply don't use it because I don't have the space, but it's a nice one. There are some really nice games for it. That was number 3. Number 4, are you looking forward to, what are you looking forward to Play Expo Blackpool? Well, as you know, I was at the Play event in Glasgow. The Play Blackburn, I was going to say, the Play Blackpool one it's maybe slightly larger, I don't know. It might be slightly larger. The thing I'm looking forward to is meeting you guys, meeting my friends that I've not seen, friends that I've made through YouTube that I never get to see other than these events. So it'll be great to just catch up with them. I mean, I'm going with my daughter and her friend and 2 of my mates. My daughter's doing the cosplay. I think she wants to take part in it. So I'm looking forward to watching her in that. Hopefully she'll do okay in that. But most of all, I'm looking forward to meeting my friends and just playing more great arcade games. Hopefully they'll have some different machines than they had at Glasgow, because there was a few missing, like there was no Berserk cabinet, which I was saddened to see. But yeah, looking forward to it, Kev. I'm getting all my names bundled up today. Looking forward to it, Tony, and I'll look forward to seeing you, mate. And number 5. What was your first ever arcade machine you played on, and what attracted you to it in the first place? Well, the first machine I saw was Pong in Edinburgh Airport, but I never played it, and even then I looked at it and I thought that looks rubbish. It didn't do anything for me. But the first arcade game I remember seeing was Space Invaders. I saw it in my local sports centre, and I was intrigued as to what this thing was. I think I'd heard the Space Invaders, but to actually get to see one in the flesh was just incredible. This was a brand new thing. We'd never seen an arcade machine before. And I probably spent more time watching other people playing it. I mean, I was quite young at the time. But I would have the occasional game, and generally I would be lucky if I lasted 30 seconds, but when I saw that, you know, it just looked incredible, and that is what led on to me having an interest in computers, and here we are, somewhat 40 years later, I'm still playing them. So yeah, Space Invaders, and it was in the Craigswood Sports Centre. So thanks Tony, appreciate your questions. Next I've got Mr. Ian Hunter. Hi Alan, cheers for another entertaining waffle, really enjoyed it. Just something that popped into my head while watching this was shite software houses. Back in the 80s there were some great developers, Lamasoft, Gremlin, Datasoft, etc. There were also some extremely shite developers too. For example, Richard Shepherd Software, yep, I know that one only too well. And despite their high profile name, Imagine Software. For a Friday Waffle question, I was wondering if you had any pet hate developer for 8-bit machines, and also any favourite developers. Yeah, there were some real bad developers. I mean, you mentioned Richard Shepherd Software. They did stuff like Transylvanian Tower, Everest Ascent. Now, all their games were written in BASIC, from what I believe, and they were all kind of text adventures with really pish graphics. I was lucky enough to never actually own any of them, so you know I couldn't really slag them off too much, but their games did look horrendous. I've obviously since played them using emulators, and they do indeed look awful, but they were quite a high profile company. I mean, all their adverts were in all the magazines back in the day. But yeah, you mentioned Imagine Software. Yeah, Imagine Games, I mean, it was only the C64 obviously that I got to play back then, and about the only game that I would have said was even remotely worth playing was Arcadia, which was quite a good little shoot 'em up. The rest of the stuff, Pedro, you know, I can't even remember any other games. They were bloody awful, absolutely woeful games, and they weren't deserving of the success they had, albeit it was short-lived because they made so much money and then they basically pissed it up against a brick wall. They just expanded too quickly. They opened up their own development factory and you name it. You know, they were trying to bring out these big amazing games, Bandersnatch and Cyclops, I think they were called. And they were giving every member of staff was running about in a Porsche. Whether that's true, I don't know. I've never heard anybody say it wasn't true, but if that was the case, that was just stupid. But the thing about Imagine, they had absolutely wonderful artwork, so people looked at them and thought, wow, their adverts looked incredible. Unfortunately, they had, you know, an absolutely vomit-inducing game. So Imagine were terrible. Another company which I had a kind of a love-hate relationship with them, and that was what they called Interceptor Micros. They brought out some god-awful games. I mean, the first game I ever owned was Crazy Kong, which was terrible. Some of their games were pretty woeful. Siren City was a kind of driving game. The thing is, some of the games like Siren City, it was kind of like you had to drive about, you were a cop. Some people compare it to like the very first Grand Theft Auto, which I wouldn't really say it was that, but it wasn't programmed that well, but they had some interesting ideas. You know, they did. Some of the games they brought out were interesting. I mean, they had Tales of the Arabian Nights, which had speech, which was, you know, was kind of pretty much unheard of back then. But some of their games were just awful. One game that I loved in particular was Trolley Wally, and it's a what do you call it? It's a platform game, but I loved the music, and for that reason I used to play it quite a lot. Then there was China Miner again, which looked really nice. It had really nice music, but it was just impossible, absolutely impossible to play. So yeah, Interceptor Software, that was another company, but I think, yeah, Richard Shepherd Software and Imagine, I would probably say Imagine had the worst games ever, but they made shitloads of money. So anyway, and favourite developer wise in 8-bit, you've named them. I mean, a lot of the US Gold stuff was really good. Synapse Software, they were an American company, but again, US Gold released a lot of their stuff like Seamus. Then there was what's they called? I can't even remember the name of them. Stuff like Fort Apocalypse and Blue Max. Who made that again? Wasn't it Datasoft? I can't remember. Was that Synapse Software? I can't remember. But again, they were released by US Gold. Data East did Bruce Lee. Then there was obviously Epix, did all the wonderful summer games, you know, so they were some of my favourites. And then, funnily enough, they rebooted Imagine Label by Ocean Software, stuff like Ya Kung Fu, what do you call it, Hyper Sports. They were really good. Green Beret, they had some awesome games, so I really liked that as well. They put out some excellent games. So thanks for your questions, Ian. I do appreciate it. Right, next one, Doug Scullery. Great waffle, Alan. My favourite bits were when your dog farted and you belched up your dinner. Loving it. What other channel would give you such offerings, Doug? I mean, seriously. And that's why I'll never become a popular channel, when you're farting and burping and what have you. Anyway, here's a daft question for the next waffle. You're challenged to build a Frankenstein combo computer out of bits of all old 8-bit computers. You have a BBC Micro, a ZX Spectrum, a Dragon 32, a ZX81, Atari 800 and a Commodore 64. You must choose one aspect of each computer to represent graphics, sound, memory, keyboard, range of software. You must use each computer only once. What would you pick? Bloody hell, that is a tough one. Right away, I'm going to go for the BBC keyboard. It's got an excellent keyboard. The Commodore 64 would have the sound chip. The Atari 800 would have the colour palette. The Spectrum would have the range of software. Bloody hell, that just leaves the ZX81 and the Dragon 32. Oh no. Do I have to use them? Dragon 32, I mean, there was no redeeming features about it at all. Well, listen, you know what, could I use the name? Could I call it the Dragon 32 computer? Yeah, I think I can. And the ZX81, dearie me. You're not going to go for the graphics, the sound, the memory, bloody hell. Alright, we're going to go for the aesthetic styling. I want a ZX81 look-alike computer, but it's going to have the BBC Micro keyboard, it's going to have the software range of the Spectrum, it's going to have the sound of the Commodore 64, and it's going to have the colour palette of the Atari 800, and it's going to be called the Dragon 32. How's that? Yeah, that's what I'm going to call it. Anyway, Doug, brilliant question. Keep them coming. Thank you very much. Right, last one, Mark the Morose. I was talking about, Kevin was asking about Egyptian games, Egyptian themed games. There was also Total Eclipse, a freescape game by Incentive on 8-bit and 16-bit, Exhumed on the 32-bit machines, and more tenuously, there was Desert Falcon on Atari 7800 and VCS, and also Mummy, Old Mummy on the 8-bits. Yeah, anyway, let's see. Question for a future waffle. Launch titles. Which system had the best release games? This can be systems and games that you own or just those that you've played, and it can include in systems that had a bundled game or built-in game. Best bundled games. Bundle games. You know what? Bundle games were quite a new thing. There was a lot of games that didn't. I mean, like the PlayStation didn't have a bundle game. Dreamcast didn't have a bundle game. I'm aware. I know later on they did bring out bundle games for systems, but generally they didn't. I've got to say, without a shadow of doubt, now this kind of goes against the grain. I'm not a big fan of the N64, but I've got to say the best bundled game has to be Mario 64 on the Super Nintendo. I'm sure it came. Did it come bundled with it? I don't know if it did actually. You know, I'm going to say it was. Mario 64 is an awesome game. You know what? The only system I can think of that had a bundled game or built-in game was the Vectrex, and it's Mindstorm, and that is absolutely superb. So I'm going to go for that one because I know that for a fact that's built into it. I don't know if Mario 64 was built into the N64. Now that I think about it, I don't think it was. I think the N64 came separately from the game, but I can't think of any. Maybe I'm just too old. Anytime I bought a system, you had to buy the system and the game separately, but if you waited on for a few years, you generally got games bundled, but I can't think of any. I don't think there's been any system. Tetris? Ah, there we go. That's another one. Tetris came bundled with the Game Boy. That is another cracker. So for a system that had a game bundled, I'm going to go for the Game Boy with Tetris. And for a system that had a game built in, it's got to be Mindstorm and the Vectrex. So there you go. So listen guys, that is it. That's all my questions. Thanks very much to everybody taking time to answer my questions or to ask for topics. Please keep them coming. I noticed my subscriber numbers had kind of stuck for about a week, but it's kind of zooped up a wee bit. I think I'm up to about 1368, which is just pretty mental. That's excellent. Hopefully we'll soon crack the 1400, which will be excellent. Apologies guys, there's been quite a few. I always make a point of replying to every comment. I was trying to do that last week or earlier on this week, but there's been a lot of comments coming in the last sort of like 3 or 4 days, which I've not had a chance to reply to. I promise you I will reply to everyone. I always think that's the least I can do. If somebody's taking the time to ask you a question or comment, the very least a YouTuber can do is reply to it, and I will get back to you. Yeah, so I'm going to sign off now guys. I've got a few bits and pieces I need to do. So like I says, by the time you're watching this, if you're watching this on late Friday evening, I will be shortly about to embark on my epic journey. If you're watching this on Saturday, I will be out somewhere on the West Highland Way, running hopefully, or walking, depending on the weather. It's to be pretty horrendous actually. So yeah, anyway, listen, that is it guys. Thanks to all your continued support. Thanks to the new subscribers that have joined the channel. Thank you to all my long-term subscribers. I always appreciate every comment, like, subscription. And it just remains for me to say have a great weekend guys, and as usual, thank you very much for watching.